sampah sembarangan. Udah tahu sampah biang masalah, buang sampah pada tempatnya lah.
Iya ya, kalau bukan kita siapa lagi? Ayo kita buat Jakarta jadi bersih.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Your Excellency, Mr. Vice Governor. First of all, we would like to say thank you for your attention and your time to attend this workshop, to envision the workshop by sharing the information regarding Para City, especially the BRC program and policy directly from you. The point is directly from you. And we have started the workshop this morning by sharing experiences and information from the participants from C40 and then from Skego, from Chile, from Seoul, from Buenos Aires, from Johannesburg, Rio de Janeiro, and all the participants here. I am Bit from Seoul, yes, they are from Seoul. I believe your speech will enhance the future ideas to develop the BRT system on the right track and better quality to reach a better standard, especially for the Para City. Mr. Vice Governor, please, the time is yours.
Thank you very much. Honored guests, welcome to our City Hall, and thank you for coming for this. I think it's a mini bookshop, but for us it's very important. We will try our best to accomplish this project for this rapid transit. Not too many to go abroad for study, but when you come, it's very easy. Like I want to learn about Bogota. We have our former ambassador in Bogota. I invite him to come here and he talked for 3 hours about his experience in Bogota. I just want to tell, I think everybody, I don't know, in our mind, in Jakarta, our mayor mass transport is a subway, mass rapid transit. We put in from south to north and from east to west. Last week I talked to Japan ambassador and many professors from Japan and Jakarta. I said, I think we have wrong to start our MRT from the south to north. You know why? Because the study is already 28 years old. When 20 years old, everybody, when you want to buy everything about electronic, about everything, you have to go to downtown because it's old city. Have a grotto. This old city on the north side. And when you're talking about the housing, we see that people move from this Menteng area, from the central Jakarta, they move to the southern area. They move to Kebayoran Baru, Pondok Indah, Cinere, or Bintaro, or Bogor, like that. And when you apply this MRT this year, changed totally. Now the residential place is moved to east and west. But what happened? We don't have a study. study about east and west. We just have south to north. And it's only half, not all, from Lebak Bulus to this Bundaran Hi. That's why we realized this rapid transit is the best for us now. For maybe until 6 years or 10 years from now. We have to depend on this bus rapid transit. But we have another problem about bus rapid transit. In Jakarta, many bus owner is not a big company. One person or 2 units or 3 units. They don't have a pool, don't have a service, anything. Sometimes they don't have a good driver. We call it like this medium-sized bus. And we also have many small, like a microland, and we call it the angkot, how to say, it's a red side, it's very small. And it's everybody on. And we sometimes we don't know if this car have a license or not. Kir itu apa bahasa Inggris?
Vehicle inspection.
Huh?
Vehicle inspection.
Vehicle inspection pass. Most of them don't have. This I want to tell you about the situation now, the present situation in Jakarta. If you want to use a law enforcement to stop them, we could not enough mass transportation for the people. That's why people, because the poor of the quality, people buy a car for people have enough money. But for the poorest or for the employee, they purchase a motorcycle. That's why the increasing of the motorcycle is amazing in Jakarta. More than, I think more than half of the increase. We have a 1.2 million a year increased vehicle in Jakarta. More than half of them is motorcycle. And accident, if we use average daily, 3 until 5 life scan or accident in the street. So what we want to do, our strategy is we have got assistance from ADDP. They make a study how to integrate the medium scale bus to this busway. And this also have many arguments. People said could not put a medium sized vehicle to the busway. We need a big one. They have many arguments. But we said we don't care. We just need how to put the bus in this area. And how about the single ticketing? The idea is use the theory is to use a single ticketing. But we have another problem talking about single ticketing. Because in our central bank, until today they don't pass the law to use the one system for e-money. That's why our ticketing still use one machine slot only for 6 banks. This is not a problem. If you not include this bank, you couldn't use your e-money. And we have a trend. Jakarta has another problem. Train company is operated by the national government, the central government, not us. Trend. This is not a problem. And how to make this one ticket integrated in one ticket? We could not find the solution. So the Jakarta give them a solution is like this. When you stop in our center, a station in Transjakarta, bus rapid transit station, you don't need to pay again, free of charge. So Jakarta make this decision. We're not talking about business. We just want people feel cozy to use the mass transportation. So when the small scale bus like Kopami Kobaja, they drop the passenger and they use our bus rapid transit free of charge. But when the passenger of the bus rapid transit want to use them, they have to pay. Because this is the owner of them is a very small company. Personal business. You never imagine in Jakarta all the medium scale car is a personal business, not a company. You want to push them now. Now how to push them? We got an idea like this, but we want to implement this idea next year. The first, we also let them integrate it in our busway, but you have to remodel your bus because you know our station is a little bit higher, so you have to remodel. And then they agree. We give them from the 2,000 rupiah, $0.2 in the old bus. When you integrate it to our new busway line, you could collect 6,000 one trip. So this means 3 times. So they already moved. But when the busway is not stereo in bus rapid transit, they halt their investment. They could not get a lot of money because the trip is not enough. So we asked the police to stereo our busway. Now it works. Everybody want to get involved in this business. Like Kopaja already, they increased the two routes maybe. They want to do this. And how about the big bus? We also will let the tourism bus to get in. And we want to create another bus from the suburb area. This is another province. We also work together with them. From the real estate, directly go to the office and go to the mall, to Jakarta. This bus could use our busway line, but they could not drop or take a passenger because they don't want to change the model of the bus. So, in weekend, they will use this bus for maybe for tourism. But for the weekday, they will use this bus for the passenger from south area. But how to move the people to the mass transportation? I think private car is more cozy, more convenient than the mass transport. So we want to put ERP, electronic road pricing. But our electronic road pricing has another problem too. We need time. In the calculation, next year, Jakarta will be a real blockage. Because it's not enough ratio of the road again. So we have to do a very extreme decision to solve next year's problem. That's why first we have to absolutely stereo our busway. We increase the fine from only 50,000 rupiah to 500,000. This means from $5 become $50 fine if you get used for busway. Now it works. It's okay for these 2 weeks, 3 weeks. It works. You could see the empty line of the busway. Now it works. Another is we want to provide the free of charge bus. This double-decker. That's our idea. In the corridor 1, from the south to north, MRT will accomplish maybe 2018. Yeah, we don't know. We hope 2018. Yeah, MRT. That's why now we want to give in corridor 1 from south to north a free charge bus, double-decker, in the left side, like in the former bus line. You know why? Because for the old passenger, for the disability, they could not go very high to the busway, very dangerous. So they want to put, and also for the office people, they don't want to. This is not different. It's not like a European. The weather is cozy. Here is a little bit hot, so people don't want to walk through from the office. They just get in from the office. They use the car. This double-decker, free of charge. So what we hope is from Duku Atas have a train station come out many passengers, they could use this free of charge bus. And like in Tanah Abang station, train station, we have Sohor free of charge bus. And also in our old city, they have a station, train station, so they could use the free of charge bus. Now, when the free of charge bus, we could operate this bus, the motorcycle is banned from this road. So you have to park your motorcycle. We will put this park motorcycle maximum $50 a day, full day. 1 hour is 2,000 rupiah, so the whole day only 5,000 rupiah. So you could park your motorcycle and you use this double-decker bus. And we believe, we don't know, but just in our theory, perception is when this double-decker free of charge bus operate in this corridor 1, all small scale bus, they will not get passenger. They will move out to Block M. And when they move to Block M, that means the population is too many. When you push them out, at that time we will strict to do a law enforcement. Because most of the car is not get a vehicle inspection pass. We will say, sorry, your car have to scrap. So the population will become ideal for the suburb area. And we will give them a new route directly from the housing, from the dense population area, to let this small scale bus operate in the area to be a feeder to our busway. And how about the small one, like the red and like a Mikrolet, a small one? We believe they will out of the business. Nobody want to use that again. And how about the driver now? This is social impact. How about the driver? That's why we put in our bus, the driver's salary is 3.5 from the basic salary. Now for the bus Transjakarta, they almost get a $1,000 a month if we use the new next year basic salary. 3.5 times from the basic salary, from the employee salary. So this way will attract the good driver to move to the new bus. And then, yeah, if you're not a good driver, you have to learn first from this medium bus first. That's what our idea of how to solve the problem for the transportation, especially we really depend on this BRT, because MRT is still in 8 years also half of the route, and this route also the wrong decision from the south to north is 28 years ago study about MRT. They still want to keep this. But we also talk to the Japanese government. We want directly from east west north. We have to do this first. Now still in the discussion. But I believe in this 8 until 10 years, Jakarta will still depend on this busway, this transit. We don't have any choice for this solution. But we also provide a free of charge bus, double decker. Only that is the difference, and we have a ban for motorcycle in this area, have a free charge, and we will put the ERP system to make the ratio volume capacity volume itu volume VC, yeah, is ideal 0.7. That's what we want. So we will use ERP to make these VCs in the ideal 0.7. That's what we think what we could share about transportation. And maybe another idea is we have a 157 traditional at 4 lower cost apartment. So the people could purchase a house in Jakarta, too expensive here. They just pay the distribution fee We don't sell to them, we don't rent to them, they just pay the fee from $0.50 until $1.2 a day, daily. And so they will live near the place. And we want to make a big resettlement for the people who live in River Bank, the slum area, to the north and east side of Jakarta, called Marunda, near the seaport, we already have, near the special economic zone. So people will stay there and work there for the low-income people. Because the center of Jakarta, they couldn't buy a house. But if they want to live in the center of Jakarta, they have to stay in our house, in this special house, like here, near Pasar we call this Menteng area, very near here. We will develop 3,200 lower-cost apartments above the former traditional market. Like in Pasar Minggu, the southern area, they have a terminal for bus and train. We also develop 2,700 units. Like in Marunda, we will purchase a 400-hectare land. We will develop 100,000 units lower-cost apartments to move the people to be concentrated in one place. So it's more easy to put the best transportation. And another way we want to do is, we also have an agreement with the central government train company, PT Kereta Api. They have a lot of place in Jakarta, very huge place for the train, for many things. So we agree with them. We will develop a super block again on their land. We will rent from them. So poor people will live above the train station and also the bus. And that's what our idea. And maybe next year we want to release our standard minimum for service. Not talking about headway, we're talking about how long people wait. If you according to our transportation minister, their standard is 7 minutes. People wait in one station, not a headway. 7 minutes. Yeah, 10 minutes is okay. In the peak, 7 minutes. But in the not in peak hours, it's 10 and 15 minutes. We want to apply this. Because until today, Jakarta never want to release this standard service. Because we realized we could not make this. Like we talk about the Transjakarta busway. We need 1,700 units minimum to hold for 12 corridors. We total macro transportation system is 15 corridors. This corridor, 3 corridor, is all is elevated. That's why many governors don't want to develop this. We will give more traffic jam. But for us, next year we will accomplish this 3 corridor. It's elevated. And the bus, you could imagine, after 9 years of this rapid transit operation, we just have not more than 600 units. Ya, bus Transjakarta. Not sampai 600 unit. Not until 600. Then maybe 20 or 40% of the bus is already 9 years old. That's why people left our mass transportation back to the motorcycle, because we could not purchase. This year, we really want to purchase 1,000 units, but we have a problem for bidding. That's why next year we will use our e-catalog. And Jakarta also have a problem. The authorized dealer, they only sell a chassis of the bus, not the whole bus. Bus, we have to use another carrosserie manufacturer to join. That's the problem. That's why this year we asked the authorized dealer, please you help us, you develop your own bus and you put in our government, central government policy for bidding in their e-catalog, so we could directly purchase. So next year we already want to purchase 3,000 scale in this Transjakarta, 3,000 bus. And I think like that, no, we want to do. Talking about politics, no, you just are not talking about politics. For us, it's really a disadvantage for us as a politician. When we want to develop this elevated bus, we want to accomplish this mass rapid transit, and also have a, how to say, pertemuan sebidang ngomong gimana? Tram and the road, junction apa? Aggregate junction. That means we have to develop elevated or underpass. When we do this, you could imagine how heavy the traffic. Maybe all the area becomes standstill position the car because you have to develop elevated busway. You want to accomplish your mass rapid transit, your monorail, your tram, at this junction tadi. That's why. As a politician, we don't want to do this because we just in this office for 5 years. That means 4 years again, we still not yet accomplished all of this mass macro transportation. We just think maybe our former governor don't want to do this because he now will make a very heavy traffic jam, and this will ruin his reputation. Like us now, people said every year more traffic jam. I said yes, because this year the car increased 1.2 million, maybe next year 1.4 million. You don't have another regulation to stop this. And the central government just passed the new law for a lower cost green car, very cheap car, no tax. Could be in Jakarta. So everybody is unhappy with our mass rapid transit, after the jam to the new lower cost green car. We could not against this. That's why. But thanks, we have a governor, Pak Jokowi. He said like this to me: we don't care if people don't want to vote for us again in 2017. But the mass rapid, the macro transportation system, we have begun, and nobody could stop this again. And even we will be a victim of this, and we will lose for the next 2017. We will elect it again 2017. Maybe the new governor will enjoy this. But after that, people will now restart this. Even we not yet be a governor again, or not yet be a vice governor again. And that's what our decision about the transportation. Thank you so much. I hope you understand my Indonesia English. I am not for in my family. I am not studying abroad. My sister, my brother study abroad. I study here. But that's why I like to make a job. This is Indonesia English. But I hope you understand very well.
Thank you so much for hosting us. It is a
So everybody could hear.
yeah, thank you so much for hosting us. It has been an absolute pleasure to be here, and we're very much looking forward to seeing the Transjakarta tomorrow morning. We are taking a site visit. We will test it out. We will maybe let you know what we think afterwards.
Maybe not too early in the morning. Later.
We want to try it, you know. Yeah, we want to try it at its busiest time. But
Already now, Mutar is our chief director of our transport.
So we are here meeting as the BRT network, so a group of cities that are working together to share best practices, lessons learned, to work together to improve our VRTs. So it is a pleasure to learn from Jakarta, but also learn from all of the cities that we have here. So thank you so much, and we look forward to our time here in Jakarta today and tomorrow, and then we look forward to continuing also the conversation with Jakarta and with all of these cities once we go home at the end of the week. So thank you for hosting us.
You have any question? I want to left this. Yes.
Yeah, Mr. Vice Governor, provide this time to all of us. If you still have anything to ask or clarify, direct it to me. Is there anything? Any question?
Hello, sir. I'm Felipe from Santiago, Chile. I was wondering if you are planning also to implement like non-motorized systems in Jakarta. I mean, I know it makes a lot, so it's something to be aware of. But if you have all these motorcycles running around, even on the sidewalks, because I experienced yesterday, I was playing with some guys that were running actually in the sidewalk. There's a lack of sidewalks generally throughout the city. So what about that issue, and also if there are actually plans in order to discourage also the use of motorcycles by encouraging the use of bicycles? Thank you.
I don't have an idea of how to move them, change to the bicycle, but some of our employees in this city hall, a woman used a bicycle to come to work. Mr. Governor also tried once a week use the bicycle. But I think it's not a good idea. We force them to use the bicycle because we not yet have infrastructure very well for them. Even you standing in the pedestrian, the car will hit you. This in Jakarta.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I experienced that.
yeah. That's another problem. That's why I think the first we want to do is we want to ask the police to strict in the law enforcement. We want to fine everybody to against the law, fine $50. Yeah, like a pedestrian. Many people said, how about the bicycle? I said, this is too ideal for us. Like if we give us, how about to rent the bicycle like in Australia, like in the Europe? I said, it's too ideal, we want. But you could not. Yeah, like Anaba, you could imagine, on the main road, they put a sign and they rent it to the vendors too. And we said, hey, you know, you have to out from here. What's wrong with us? We just saving. What you on my road? This one, I want to live. That's the problem. So that's why that's for us. It's not an amazing thing when people occupy the pedestrian. Even the main road they occupy. Oh, just for a pedestrian. They say this pedestrian. That's why more than 30 years we never put a law enforcement. Like this year, we put a law enforcement. They said, I am like a dictator. They said, I will fine you, bring you to jail. They said, vice governor is a dictator. I said, this is not a dictator, this is a law. They said, no, what's wrong with us? We just selling. This is fine. They occupied our river bank. I said, you have to move. They said, no, please pay me. 1 meter square, $300. If you pay me, I move. I said, how come? You don't need to care about my life. Where I live, how I live, it's not your business. Give me $300 per meter square. I said, no, you have to move to the low cost apartment. I give you full furnish. The NGO here, one of the NGO here, report me to the United Nations. I was against the human rights. Crazy, no? I said, what is human rights like this? This one you learn about. This is Jakarta. But people like to say for politician, if you could manage Jakarta, you will very easy to be president of Indonesia. Very easy.
From the inside, there or outside? Outside is better. Inside. Good position for with the legislation, please.
If for the foreigners free of charge. But for the citizen, $2. Jadi gini, misalnya Pak Damangges kita menafsirkan, kan kita bilang kalau IRP yang elektronik belum jalan, sedangkan PP pemerintah yang nomor 72 ya, tahun 2012 itu, 71 atau 17 itu, di pasal 8 kan disebutkan harus membentuk sistem dan elektronik. Nah sekarang kita mau jalankan dengan stiker. Nah stiker ini dianggap melanggar nggak? Karena untuk menentukan jalur mana yang boleh dikenakan dengan IRP harus minta persetujuan Menhub. Itu peraturannya. Dan Menhub baru bisa memberikan dengan syarat bahwa transportasi massalnya itu sudah memenuhi standar pelayanan minimum. Salah satu ya nunggunya 7 menit tadi. 7 menit itu. Jadi kalau kamu nunggu bus standar itu kira-kira 7 menit, 10 menit lah maksimum, bus sudah datang. Jadi, bukan headway loh. Kamu udah masuk dalam bus, itu kira-kira hitungan pelayanannya itu gitu loh. Nah makanya DKI nggak pernah membuat SPM kan. Kalau kamu nggak pernah membuat SPM, bagaimana mungkin Menhub akan memberikan kamu izin dikenakan IRP? Nah makanya kita kaji. Pada mana kan jangan mengerti lah. Bahwa ada satu lagi
Pak
Jule. Ya. Nah, jadi kita ngomong sama dia, kita diskusi itu ceritanya. Kalau nggak ketemu itu, baik kita coba teori. Kalau misalnya sama seperti sekarang kan teorinya kan jalanan itu nggak cukup, mobil tambah terus kita stop satu steril busway. Pasti langsung macetnya gila-gila waktu pertama kali kita steril itu, semua orang marah-marah. Tapi betul tidak lancar, semua boleh pindah kan. Nah sekarang yang terjadi apa? Busway-nya lancar, jalan biasa pun agak longgar. Tapi ini nggak bisa tahan lama nih. Kalau ini bus nggak ditambahin, lama-lama orang akan mulai beli kendaraan dan lebih nyaman pribadi kan. Makanya harus gunakan IRP. Kalau IRP belum dikenakan gimana? Paksa kita sikat dengan bus gratis supaya mendorong motor, supaya bus-bus yang suka ngetem itu tersingkir di kiri. Kalau tersingkir di kiri, orang punya pilihan dua lagi kan. Ini yang bayar, ini tidak bayar untuk antar kantor. Ini juga akan mengurangi orang naik mobil. Nah kalau IRP-nya sambil mainkan dua ini, sambil nunggu IRP jalan.
Jadi berarti makin panjang nggak Pak persiapannya? Kan harus ada SPM-nya dulu.
Panjang. Makanya karena IRP bisa tambah panjang, nggak mungkin April udah kalau gitu IRP.
April 2014.
Nggak bisa kalau kita tafsirkan seperti itu. Kecuali yang stiker. Jadi stikernya mesti cari-cari celah hukumnya nih. Stiker digital elektronik.
Itu belum pasti juga ya Pak ya? Stiker pas.
Makanya kita mesti cari, mesti konsultasi dengan Menhub. Boleh nggak? Kalau main dengan Wapres kan ngomong dengan Menhub itu dianggap uji coba untuk mengetahui berapa sih kendaraannya, longgarnya gitu loh. Setelah dikenakan biaya seperti ini. Padahal menentukan biaya kan ada hitungannya. Sebetulnya itu tidak membebankan kepada warga tentang kenakan IRP. Sebetulnya itu adalah ongkos kemacetan, ongkos transportasi dia yang karena lancar dia jadi untung kan, jadi hemat. Nah uang itu yang dibayarkan ke IRP. Rumusnya seperti itu sebetulnya.
Jangka pendek ya stiker itu Pak, kemudian SPM.
Kalau stiker ada masalah jangka pendek itu tadi, teori itu tadi. Kalau di kiri ada yang gratis, tidak ada motor, bus-bus tidak ada yang ngetem karena nggak dapat penumpang. Ini jadi lancar, orang-orang juga akan pindah. Tanpa stiker, tanpa bayar IRP pun, sebagian orang sudah akan melepaskan kendaraan untuk pindah.
Untuk SPM-nya bus tadi gimana Pak?
Udah datang, kita mau terapkan, kita mau keluarkan. Sudah siap, tinggal tanda tangan gubernur. Tinggal tanda tangan gubernur itu. Kalau bus belum datang kan cari mati.
Berarti tunggu bis baru.
Iya.
Nah itu Pak yang katanya ada tambahan CSR bis solar itu gimana?
Ada. Itu juga berdebat soal plat merah. Tadi kita juga diskusi sama Pak Jul sama Pak Darman Tias. Boleh nggak plat merah ngangkut orang? Boleh, asal tidak bayar. Kayak gitu. Berarti yang bus tingkat tidak masalah. Tapi yang bus Transjakarta bisa berdebat nih. Ya kan saya bilang begini, kan dia tidak memungut duit di dalam bus. Beda dengan kasus yang Jogja. Kalau Jogja plat merah dia tarik uang. Ini kan enggak. Mereka dia tariknya di halte. Misalnya orang itu protes lagi. Tapi di halte kan yang naik Kopaja juga turun di halte tidak bayar lagi. Yang udah bayar gimana bedain? Saya kan cuma buka pintu, dia masuk ke dalam mobil, saya ngantar karena saya tahu. Nah itu masih berdebat. Tapi kita udah sampai titik, udahlah, yang penting polisi sepakat. Polisi polisi izinkan ya lewat aja.
Dari mana sih perusahaan yang kasih saya?
Dari grup-grup inilah, handphone, terus grup-grupnya Ajinomoto, kayak Sampo, yang Pak Mukitan itu, yang Asahi Mas, perusahaan-perusahaan model yang Jepang. Teman-teman ini, teman-teman minta tolong gitu kan, supaya mau tawarin gitu. Sekarang orang lagi semangat kan bantu Jakarta kan.
Jumlahnya
Udah 30 jadi Transjakarta punya di Bogor. Tinggal suruh urus surat. Udah jadi Hino.
Tapi belum dioperasikan.
Kan mesti tunggu surat menyurat ini gimana? Hibahnya, surat menyuratnya.
Yang biar sistem ini kan tadi
Bus rapid transit itu busway-nya kita. BRT itu busway kita tuh BRT, di dunia tuh namanya BRT. Bus rapid transit.
Udah dapat masukan belum dari ini tadi dari workshop?
Aku nggak dengar, aku dengar dari tadi katanya Bu Tuti bilang mereka merasa dapat masukan dari kita karena banyak yang kan mereka nggak pernah kepikir masukin bus kecil segala macam gitu kan, bus wisata sebagainya nggak begitu. Jakarta kan paling kreatif Jakarta. Dia juga belajar kan, dia dimarahin di trotoar, marahin motor malah yang disemprot. Kita sampaikan, saya nggak tahu Bu Tuti bilang gitu. Pasti dapat belajar sesuatu kan, sama-sama barang baru kan. Kenapa ini bilang barang baru? Karena dunia tetap sampai hari ini menganut sistem berbasis rel tetap lebih baik, lebih efisien. Tapi di Cina membuktikan bus rapid transit bisa nyaingin monorail gitu. Cina kembang untuk dalam kota ya, Cina juga kembang lebih murah investasi. Nah itu juga masih Bogota juga gitu. Tapi ke depan ada juga teori mengatakan mereka udah mulai kesulitan sekarang kalau tidak mau berbasis rel. Jadi masing-masing akhirnya jadi belajar juga. Karena bus kan tidak mungkin headway-nya bisa dijaga. Ada juga yang membuat guided bus yang roda itu masuk dalam rel itu loh. Ada seperti itu juga. Jadi sekarang sama-sama mencari formula seperti apa. Nah, tapi yang jelas kita belajar dari mereka tuh bus mereka tuh bisa masuk jalan tol. Dan jalan tol itu ada teluknya untuk turun penumpang gitu. Bahwa dia pakai rem turun ke bawah. Agak tinggi memang remnya. Dan nanti harusnya operasikan bus yang dek pendek untuk nolong orang supaya gampang naik gitu. Untuk yang cacat segala macam kan gampang gitu. Ya.
Kalau tadi pertemuan Budi Asih dengan dokter.
Nah ini masalah dokter juga sama nih sekarang soal KJS ini. Soal tarif, dokter-dokter itu mengeluhkan tarif. Kalau di ICU masih belum masuk ke Jakarta. Jauh sekali. Dia ngabisin 90 juta, ini inasibilis cuma 67 juta. Nah kita ingin masukkan juga dengan Jamkesda. Kita mau minta rapat lagi. Bagaimana supaya kalau kita bergabung dengan BPJS, dengan JKN ini, Jakarta tetap tidak dirugikan. Karena hitungan kosnya tidak pakai Jakarta. Kalau kita jalan sendiri bagaimana? Untuk membuktikan bahwa BPJS ini bisa bermasalah soal tarif gitu loh. Kita nggak mau roba apa kita sendiri. Jadi kita tetap putuskan tetap CBGs, Cashmic sebetulnya. Nah, sistem Cashmic bukan fee for service. Itu udah kita pastikan. Nggak ada lagi orang habis obat bayar berapa, habis obat bayar berapa, nggak bisa.
Tapi nilainya masih bisa diubah besaran.
Itu yang susah. Mereka mau suruh coba dulu tarif 2014. Oh, foto. 2014 itu yang beda. Ya.
Kalau yang itu di Kalimantan itu juga kalau misalnya sekolah baru ada peristiwa baru ditindaklanjuti.
Kalau mau ngomong hampir semua sekolah kalau pakai kayu-kayu yang biasa itu pasti rawan rubuh. Kalau kita mau ganti semua itu saya bilang mereka anggaran tidak pernah, anggarannya beli meja, beli filing kabinet melulu kemarin-kemarin, bukannya perbaiki sekolah, ya kan? Nah ini pasang CCTV tahun depan diajuin 3 miliar. 3 miliar bisa perbaiki semua atap, semua plafon sebetulnya. Kalau kita mau ganti plafon sekolah yang bahaya gitu loh. Ngapain pasang CCTV? Mau menyaksikan atap roboh, direkam. Dengan CCTV canggih 3 miliar satu sekolah. Gila itu kan. Itu hal itu kita mesti coret. Kalau nggak ada IBA jadi kita coret itu beranak lagi tuh keluar tuh. Ya kan nggak usah dibahas anggaran 2014 kalau gitu caranya. Yuk. Oh, hah? Yuk.